G'day Crustacean Nation, SirPrawnAlot here with another video. Today we're getting rid of this cyanobacteria. Um, it's been a pain for ages, and I say I'm getting rid of it, but really I'm just cleaning out the tank. I haven't yet purchased anything that will actually kill it off. If you don't know what cyanobacteria is, it's like this green, bluish slime, which looks really cool and really interesting. But it also does look a lot like algae, and it's not very appealing. So as you can see, it's sort of taken over this tank quite a bit. That's due to the tank being high in phosphates, and high in light, and didn't have much flow. So it's a bit of a concern, just because, you know, this was my aquascape tank and I was trying to keep it really nice. And as you can see, I've tried to scrape a little bit away just now. But I thought it'd be worth filming because it is really interesting. So this is one method to sort of control it, I guess. It does come back really quickly if you still have, you know, the high phosphates and all that, which I most likely will. But this is more just to show you what it is. And if you see this green slime, this green bluish slime, not to fear, because it isn't necessarily harmful to your fish. Like I said, it is a bacteria, and it's pretty much heaps of bacteria clumped up, which makes these kind of layers of slime. And it's really easy sort of to peel off. I'll just show you here. If I put my hand in and just sort of rub it slightly, you can see it peels off very easy, with almost no force. There's just a nice look at it there. So it's just this icky, slimy stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and have a crack at just getting this out manually. I'll probably use mostly my hands for it, and then I'll get down there with some tweezers or something and just sort of, you know, spaghetti it up and mix it all around. Then I'm going to do a water change on here, and hopefully it'll look a bit better. Like I said, this isn't going to get rid of it. I almost know that for certain because I've done it before. But it's always, I guess, an interesting thing to have a crack at. So if you also want to attempt to clean your tank like this, you're probably going to have got some tools. I use these tweezers here, these are large ones, just a sponge, a dishwashing sponge, and a bucket with a little bit of water in it, just so you can wash off the cyanobacteria when you pick it out. Like I said, I'm mostly going to be using my hand anyway, so it's not too much of a fuss. These are just for the hard to reach places, I guess, and, you know, if there's any extra algae in there, I'll give it a bit of a scrub. So here's a really good example of how it sort of peels off when you go in there with your hands. So just come in here, start rubbing it a little, or get underneath it if it's on the plant. And it's just that easy, like it just peels off. Then you just got to make sure you grab it because it does like to get away from you. And sure enough, there it is. It's not pleasant to touch, but you know, it's all in a day's work, I guess, for a fish keeper. So this is just the last little bit that I got out. As you can see, like, you can really tell where they got the name for it. It was commonly known as blue-green algae for a while, but obviously it's not algae. And then the name Cyanobacteria came in. Clearly the cyan is in there. The interesting thing is it does sort of match Dr. Erpy, my fish here, which is quite funny, but yeah. So this tank is now looking very muddy and dirty because I stirred everything up. Like I said, that cyanobacteria does trap a lot of stuff underneath it, and obviously it dies off and things like that, so it does, you know, cause a bit of debris. So I'm going to mix this up, drain it out, you know, do a bit of a water change. I may leave this filter going like this. I'm not sure though, I do have to fill it up a bit more. As you can see, the level is a bit low because I took some water out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just got to have a crack at getting a little bit more off the sides, just like in the corners, and a little bit more off the plants down the bottom. So here's the end results of what I guess I collected. That's a big chunk of slime. Not necessarily the most pleasant stuff, but you know, you put in the hard work and you do get results. There was a lot in there, and I've definitely left it a little longer than I would like to. So that's how the tank's looking now. So I guess a quick before and after. Yeah, it's looking a lot better now. I just need to fill it up and we will be done. So there it is, back at its original state, I guess. No more cyanobacteria. As you can see, the dwarf hairgrass took a bit of a beating because of all that blanket of bacteria. So they haven't been getting as much light as they would. They are still growing. I haven't been trimming them as much. Clearly, I left this tank to sit for a bit. You know, all the algae isn't off. There's still little bits of cyanobacteria as well. Like I said, unless I purchase some very expensive chemicals, or I guess powders or something, I can't remember what they are, but unless I buy those and dose the tank and stuff like that, I'm never really going to get rid of all of it. Like I said, the best I can do is contain it this way. So if you're in the same situation, just sort of follow what I did. You know, scrape off as much as you can and get as much as you can out. I'm not hugely fussed with how the tank looks, as long as my little fish is okay. Little Dr. Erpy. But yeah, I think, you know, it's looking better, and yeah, the plants are still growing and stuff. If you would like to know more about cyanobacteria, I'll leave a link in the description, just with something, you know, about it. I mentioned a few of the things in this video already. But yeah, I also changed around this filter. It was going the other way, now it's going this way. I don't know if it's too much flow for Dr. Erpy or not. He seems to be okay. He's been doing pretty well. And all the shrimp in this tank are now dead. I found one that was just dead on the floor, and then the baby little ones have just gone. And one of the other smaller ones that I put in, most of them are all gone. The biggest one was the one that I found dead. So I think it may have been the CO2 that I added, or Dr. Erpy has a taste for shrimp. Either way, I'm not really sure, so I guess we'll find out if I ever try it again. But that's pretty much it for this video, and this tank is pretty much done. Obviously the dwarf hairgrass has to grow in a bit more and things like that. But at the moment I'm just sort of, you know, keeping it stable, keeping an eye out for some plants to put in the back. But yeah, there's a few things I guess I still need to do with it. But yeah, it's all cleaned of cyanobacteria, and yeah, it's looking good. And Dr. Erpy is looking awesome. So thank you for watching. If you haven't joined the Crustacean Nation, please go subscribe to my channel, and like the video and comment below. If you're new to the Crustacean Nation, just comment, I'm joining the Crustacean Nation or something. It's going to be a really good community, I reckon. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something. And if you are combating this, let me know ways you combat it, I guess. So I'll see you in the next one.